Hello again, and welcome to another tutorial. And this time I will take an old lens and see how I can clean the lens element. And this will be the Super Multi Coated TAKUMAR 3.5, and it's a 135mm lens. So let's see how we can do it. Well, this old thing, which is in okay condition. I mean, the front lens element, there seems to be something on. Well, just my fingerprint. And also the back lens element is not is really dusty inside. But how dusty is it actually? Well, let's take a look and see how bad it is. I mean, whoa, it's kind of let's say really haze or something, dust or something. I don't know yet, but I have taken a sneak peek into this lens, so hopefully it will be much better. So let's go into it. But we need some tools, of course. And zooming out a little, there is a lens blower, which is very handy. The compass or walking stick or whatever, lens spinner. This is an old one I have filed and grind, so they can be used to repair lenses and cameras. You can also buy some of those the real lens spinners on the Amazon or eBay or something. What is also very handy is a rubber stopper, and this is just an ordinary 55mm in one end and 47 in another end. Also very handy is those the cones, the rubber cones from Japan Hobby Tool. There are 6 pieces and of course 12 different sizes, which is very handy with working with lenses. A pair of screwdrivers is also very good. In this case it's a 1.8mm flathead and also a 2mm flathead screwdriver. Some dentist tool can be very handy to make small marks on different things, and of course a good tweezer is very handy. Also those lens suckers. This one, the big one here, is from Japan Hobby Tool, and you can get them on eBay or Amazon. The small one, which here, this is a tiny one, it come in a set, and it's from a company called Nordson Corporation. I think it must be nordson.com or something, but you can search on it. And we need some fluid, clean, I mean lens fluid. In this case I will use both the ECLIPSE and the lighter fluid, which could be whatever brand. It could be Zippo or Extra or Ronsonol or whatever. It's all the same. And some nail polish remover, with especially with the one with acetone. Difficult to see, I know. And yeah, an amount of PEC-PAD non-abrasive wipes, lens wipes. They're really good. So yeah, and of course some gloves to hold on the lens. And what can be very handy is those very sticky garden gloves. You see there are some nice flowers, yeah, but the point is the gloves here are extremely sticky. So by taking off some parts which is really tight, those gloves are really good. We will also have some of those rubber tools in different sizes. There are 9 different, which will be 18 different size, which is very handy when cleaning lenses. Especially they can act as a stand when you clean the lens. Now let's jump into it. We need to take off I will begin with the front lens group. There are 3 lenses in here, and in the back lens group, which is content of 1 lens, I will begin by taking off the nameplate, and with the use of the rubber cone, in this lens it was really tight, but with those really sticky rubber, it's very good, especially if you have all the cones in here in one, so it acts as a one piece. It will be very handy, because then you can press very good on it, and if it's not sit that tight like this one, because I have been into it, those rubber stopper are extremely sticky. And a good point, if some of those especially the cones here and the rubber, if they get over time, they will be less sticky, but it's very easy to actually come over by using some acetone, or the more not so harmful nail polish remover. There is some acetone in this one, but you can just use a little amount of this one and simply put it on the rubber, because it will, what you say, renew the very sticky surface on this one, and also on the rubber cone here. I mean the rubber stopper. And so it's just a little. It will do a lot. And then they are almost as sticky as it was as when they were new. And that's a good point, because the surface, the rubber surface, will over time be a little hard, so it not acts as a good point. But with this one, I can simply put it on and still have it free. So so off it comes. Now the next point is that we need to unscrew this ring to get the front lens group mounting out. So by taking off the 3 screws, what you can see there, there and there. And I will use my 1.8mm screwdriver for this, and it can sometimes be difficult to see what's actually happened down there. No. So it's free and can be taken out. The screws are not that big, The next one can be a little, sometimes they are a bit difficult to get out, but the screwdriver has to be really sharp. I mean, not too sharp, but still good sharp to take out the screws. So now the ring comes off. So here we are. And I can just put this tiny screw back in the hole again so I know where it is. So now then it's actually ready to unscrew the whole front lens group in one single piece. But there's also a front ring, so maybe I should just use my sticky gloves here and simply just unscrew it. I mean, it's already loose, but it's just to show you that it can sit tight. So this is how it looks, and now we are ready to continue with the this is just the block. There is one front lens, the next lens, and the back lens here, so not a big deal. Now off with the front retaining ring here, which can sit really tight. It was not tight in this lens, but I will still use my my lens tool just to see if I can get it off there, and it fits fine, and have a good grip on it. So off it comes. If there was some thread lock on it, which sometimes they use, one can actually just use a cotton bud and of course nail polish remover and simply dig into the put on to the thread, so their nail polish remover with the acetone will soften the thread lock, so it's much easier to unscrew it. I mean, it has to sit really tight if you're not if it's not possible to unscrew. Have a good grip on it and then unscrew it. But before I take it out, take out the front lens, I will just unscrew the back retaining ring that hold the the lens here. They have also used some, you can see there, some kind of thread lock on it or whatever it is. And then I can just add a little on it, and simply, so it will simply just move around and soften the thread lock. And then I could use my rubber cones here. Oh, too big. Just put it on here, then have a good grip. And if you just, if you do not have those sticky gloves, you could just use the cones as it is and simply hopefully. So it's free. So now, and then the front ring. Now then it's time to put on some other gloves for the cleaning process. And I think it will turn out to be very, very good. Now, the front lens will come out. So, nothing special about that. And then just pop the and if it if it will not come out, we can just use the lens sucker here. Press it in and then put it on, and off it comes. There is another retaining ring in here that holds the next lens element. So, but let's just take one lens element at a time and see how it will actually go. And we need some kind of a stand where the lens can sit when I clean it, and I think we'll begin with the front, and then I can turn it over and put it back in. Not yet, not yet, but after I clean the next lens element. So we need some lens tissues. And I will just begin with the Eclipse and see how it will go. And let's see if it will do something with that old dust and whatever is on. So sometimes things come off. It seems like there is something on which has come from old stuff, and maybe the way they clean it. So I will just continue with the lighter fluid. Sometimes because it just works much better on some lens element. Not every, but it depends what actually on. Well, it helped, but I think somebody has used something on this lens. Okay, should we do it again? Sometimes acetone is good to use, but it's a bit yeah, I think it works on some, in some cases. It looks better, but still not good enough. There's something on which I not really can get away, but maybe if I use some hydrogen peroxide. So I will just go and get something. Now then I just have clean hydrogen peroxide because I think there is some kind of haze on this lens, especially the front, and I think it, maybe you can see it here, there's some kind of, I know it's difficult to see, yeah, the see there on the there's something that looks like it could be haze or old fungus, I don't know. But let's see if I put it in there and let it stay for just a few minutes. And I will just continue with the next lens element, see how it will go. And there's still a lot of dust and dirt in here. So, there is also a retaining ring, and probably if I use my cone, it could be that I can unscrew it. Nah, it's not the correct size. Maybe this one can help. Sometimes they can be used and sometimes not. No, it's not the right size. So I will just use my good old compass lens spinner. And there's two small notches there, and there's another one over there. So you actually can see how it looks like. And then just unscrew it. It looks like they have not used any thread lock on here. Maybe there is something on here, as you can see. So let's just do a small, what do you say, if the lens was, the retaining ring was too stuck, well, I could just have used a little on the retaining ring and just add a little. It's not a very big amount, and you see it will just evaporate. I mean, just like well, it will just suck in to the thread, and then just wait a few seconds. It will melt pretty fast, and then just unscrew it. So there it is, and so out with the retaining ring for that lens, and I think I will just let it pop into my rubber thingy here. So, and just so, very gently. There's no danger on this, the way I do to take out the lens element. Now let's see how it looks. Well, it's a bit dusty, so let's see how it will go. How will this one fit on here? It was absolutely perfect. So I will just begin with the other side no, I will begin with the inside here. The back of is actually the lens sit in that way, just so you remember. If you put it in that way, you will probably damage the lens. So it has to sit like this. The flat surface here is towards the camera, or the back of the lens here. So let's see what we can do about it. Where is a lens tissue? I think it will be very interesting to see if this if the hydrogen peroxide will have any effect on the haze or whatever it is. Probably, yeah, but let's see how it will go. Well, it actually helps a lot, and we just do it again. If you only do it once, I think it's not good enough. Oh, still something on. Well, it looks like something new. So I can just turn it over and do the other side. See if it has the same effect on this lens. Hopefully there is something good. And the coating is no problem in this case. Okay. Wow. That's amazing. But I will just do it last time for this lens, and then we are done with that. Is there any dust on it? Could be. Yeah, it was only dust. So let's see how it looks when I put a torch through it. Well, it seems like there is some haze on it. If you look here, you can see there's something on. So maybe there's also some kind of haze inside. But I will just put this aside and see how the lens element actually is when it has been into hydrogen peroxide. It's only 3%. So let's see what we can do about it. Well, just use this. I only take in the edge, so there is no problem. And just do some, wipe away the rest of the hydrogen peroxide, and then I can do the actual cleaning. Just a little. What if I do something? I'll just try this and see how it will go if I simply clean the the lens element with this one, because sometimes it helps a lot when cleaning lens element to do the cleaning with some pressure on it. It could have some effect, and probably will have here too. Now then I can just use a clips, just a little, and because of the clips will evaporate very fast, there shouldn't be anything left on the lens element. So I think there something had happened to this lens element. So it's not only what I thought it was. I'll just do this side again. And see how it will go. So, oh, there was just a tiny drop on the back side here. So now let's see what actually happened. Had happened. So before there was actually something kind of haze on the lens surface, but it seems to be away right now. So the lens element, there's something down here, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the retaining ring sits where it sits, so we will not see it. Just a tiny hair there. So it actually is much better than it was. So it was haze that was on the lens. Interesting. So I would guess it's the same thing that happened in this, the next lens element. You can see there's something on. I mean, probably, I know it's difficult to see, but there is a kind of, maybe it's better to turn it over here. On the lens surface, I think it must be this side here, there's something on that looks like it is haze. So I will just give it a little bath in hydrogen peroxide and let it stay there for some minutes. Now the next lens element is the third lens element in this front group. It looks really pretty. It's only one piece of glass. Oh, sorry, I was out of frame. Good, I have my monitor. Well, it seems like it looks actually very clear, but is it clear? Well, it is, but I think just a cleaning with the ECLIPSE will do the trick. So let's see if I do the inside first, then and use some ECLIPSE. Sometimes the black ink on those on the side of those lens element comes off, and I'm not really sure what kind of ink it is, but maybe someone knows. Well, just do it again. Oh, that was not good. Wow. It looks really good. So I'll just do the other side. And so this lens element is done. Wow. That's just amazing. But I mean, when seeing on it, yeah, there's still some haze on it. But okay, I will just do it again, but this time I'll just dig the lens tissue in small amount of hydrogen peroxide, because sometimes it's not necessary the lens stay too long in the hydrogen peroxide. So I'll just dig it in here. Because it looks like the hydrogen peroxide will simply take off the black ink. So that's very interesting why that happened. So, and just wipe it off, most of it. And putting on some rubber thingy. Now just do this again and do the after cleaning with ECLIPSE. So if the lens stays too long in the hydrogen peroxide, it can damage the ink on the side here. So I think it's okay just to use a little amount of hydrogen peroxide on a lens tissue. Just do it a little and then take away the rest of the hydrogen peroxide with some ECLIPSE. This is just amazing. I mean, just take away this and yeah, so we are there. And I will simply just put this lens into the mount here, and so it's done. And where did the retaining grain goes here? It's just a bloody hair. So now it sits there and I It looks like it's okay. Well, seems like there is something on the back here which I haven't cleaned proper. So I'll just do it again. So here we are. Now the next lens element will just need some wipe away the rest of the hydrogen peroxide, and let's see how it will go, if it's going better. I hope so. So and let's see, I take the inside first. Not much yet. So okay, I will do another go. There it is, and then the other side. And then we're almost there with the front lens groups. So, and let's see, wow. It looks much better to me. Yeah. You can see the haze kind of is actually almost gone. Maybe it should have stayed a little longer. Could be still something on here. So there we are. So much better. And then I can just put this lens element back into this place and simply use the retaining ring, put it on here, and use a rubber tool to put it on. So, and there it is, and flip it over, and there it is. And so I can just use my my lens spinner to do the actually tighten the retaining ring. So come on, little fellow, come into the thread there. Whoa, it looks much better to me. I mean, much better. So it's really good. So I can just add the very front lens element. Some dirt on the outside here. so. And where did it go? The this one. It will just be easier to put the lens in. Oh. Do it again. It will just be easier to put the lens in when I have it on the rubber tool. Simply put it in and flip it over, and here we are. So, and then I can just add the front retaining ring for the front lens. Oh, click. And here we are. I can just tighten the whole lens group, and things stay where they should. Now well, it's not really bad. I mean, you can actually see the lens reflection in the between the lens element, which was not really that good before. So things has happened. Oh, I need to change my battery. Sorry for that. Be back in a moment. Okay, new battery in my camera. Well, that was the really successful front lens group. Some dust on it. But it's actually ready to be put into the lens. But there's also a back lens, and in this case there's only one lens. So to go into that, there is a small tube on the down here. This tube here, there's a notch there and a notch there. So I cannot use my my rubber tools to do that. So I will just use my long lens spinner compass here. Put it into here and catch the two notches there. And it has to sit a little tight when doing that, because the notches is not that big. And then it's free, and then I can just unscrew it. And of course it's more easy to when set the lens to infinity. Oh, I should have done it before. But set it to infinity, then you have better access to the actual I don't know what it's called, a blind or a light catcher for the. Now the next is the actual retaining ring. I mean the lens mount ring, whatever it calls, but it's the same way like the back tube. Put the lens spinner in, and so it sits good, and then unscrew it. When I first was in this lens, the back lens group was really sitting tight, but of course it's the second time I'm into it. The first time was only a sneak peek how it looks. But so, and it says click, 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 and then it's free. Then I can just use my rubber tool put on and then flip the lens over, so I have better control with taking out the lens. So seems like they have used some kind of thread lock, maybe not, I don't know. But the back lens, which is only one lens, let's see how it looks inside. Oh, well, there's a lot of dirt and dust, but it's more on the back side, the most back side towards the camera, than the actual inside here. But well, I will clean it anyway, because it cannot be used to take any pictures in that condition. So I'm going to use the lens spinner here to do it again. There. And it sits pretty good. But before I unscrew it, because here they have again used some kind of thread lock, so I will just again use a tiny drop of nail polish remover, and I will simply just put it directly on the retaining ring, and it will go around the ring. Just let it stay a little. Have a good grip on the lens tool and simply unscrew it. Oh, wow, it was really tight. But managed to take it out. So then the retaining ring is free. And then I could actually just use my lens rubber tool, flip over, and then knock on it, and out the whole thing comes out. I mean, I thought it was. Okay, we'll just put it on again and do it more. That's weird. Okay, maybe I can just press on it. That was weird. It should come out. That was strange. Well, if I press on one side, should it be possible to unscrew? That was really weird. Okay, I should just press a little with two fingers, two thumbs, and then simply press it out. Let's see how it will look, because okay, the curved side here is towards the front lens. So the retaining ring, which is sit on the so this is how it looks. The retaining ring, the flat side of the lens, the curved side of the lens, and then the mount, lens mount, whatever so it calls, which is again screwed into the lens. So remember that this is the curved side that goes into the mount. So let's do some cleaning, which should be quite easy. I hope so. But let's see how it will go if I just do some light cleaning here on the one side of the lens. Just do it again. Yeah, that was not the back side. This is the back side, which is flat. And then just do some cleaning in 2 steps. First one cleaning and then the other. You see there is a lot of dust and dirt on it. But I think it looks like there is some kind of haze on it. So just see if I can take it away. And if not, no. So I will simply just use some hydrogen peroxide and see how it will be if I just use some light amount of hydrogen peroxide and simply clean it that way. Sometimes, well, it helps actually. That was interesting. That was really interesting. What the ECLIPSE couldn't do, the hydrogen peroxide did it. So I'll just do it on the other side too. Amazing. So it's not always necessary to put the lens directly into the hydrogen peroxide. So just use the lens tissue and see what you can do about it. Okay, yeah. And then final cleaning with the ECLIPSE. Whoa, that was amazing. Just amazing. And the other side. Yeah, there's still something on the other side, which could be probably taken away with the hydrogen peroxide. Just do some movement and I think it will do the trick. And then clean with the ECLIPSE. Wow, that's just amazing. So now let's see how it will look putting torch. There's still something haze, which I think is on the outside of the lens, which will be the flat surface. So I will just do a little more cleaning with the corner where the hydrogen peroxide was, and it will probably take the rest of the haze, something like, away. Then just use this corner. Yeah, I think it will do it. There's still something on here. Well, that's it. That's just amazing. So, and then it's just to put it back into the lens again. So, and put it on this rubber thingy. And screw it in. And here we are. And just tighten the retaining ring. And simply put it back into the lens. And it's good with this rubber tube, because it fit really good into this to the back here. So catch the thread. So, and it sits tight. Then I know it's difficult to see. So, and the last tube here. Last time it was really difficult to get this bloody tube in. That was just amazing. Well, see what we can do about it. Yeah, click. This is, and then tighten the back tube. So it's there. So, and the only thing I need to do is just put in the, oh, there is something on the back here. Okay, just close the aperture. So I can just put this in and tighten. That was annoying. Those small parts that comes in here. Okay, nothing really special, just some marks. And then put the lens, front lens, into place. Wow, it looks really good. Tighten it, because then I need to put on the front ring here, and that's why I need to, when I disassemble it, I take off the front ring here first. So simply put this on. There are 3 screws. Then you have to fit perfect in place, and use your 1.8 millimeter screwdriver and simply try to. It's not that easy. Yeah, here it goes. Just have to find the first screw, and then the other could just come after without any problem. So, and the last screw, and then we just need to put on the name ring, and then we are done. It's not a complicated lens. Oh, there was something here missing. Yeah. It's not a complicated lens, but still a nice lens to take photos with. And now this lens is actually even much better than it was. Click. Says. And just use my rubber stopper here to tighten it. So I have just dig out this rubber stopper, so it has a curvy form that will make it easier to actually take out lens element and retaining rings and so on. And yeah, but how does it look actually when it's done? I think it's much better than it was. So if we have some light through it, if we see through it, I think it's much better than it was. Really amazing. So this is how you actually can clean your old Super Takuma 135mm 3.5. So hope you can use the information in this video. So bye bye.